Okay, good evening everyone. Not to be ashamed, ask questions. They recording me, not recording you. You know, people thinking, oh, it's recorded and I'm gonna be quiet. Questions, answer whatever you want, you know. It's very important. That don't be shy, and any question I could answer, I can answer you. So we start a couple of shiurim that before that Shalom-Bait, peace at the house, is a very important thing. The entire life of Jewish life is built up in the peace at the house between husband and wife. And this is peace between husband and wife. It's so important. It's almost based on future of your kids, your family, yourself, everything. Now, Torah teaching us that very important thing to know that when the husband and wife, when the person getting married, you already married, Baruch Hashem, but Bichlal, Shalom-Bait is still waiting for you until the 120 years, you know that. So very important that know that people has a feeling. People has a feeling. And if you realize entire our action, entire our life, anything we do through the feeling. True that sages teach us by saying us, don't do only through your feeling. Also you have to do through your mind, your brain, to understand the whole thing, you know. But the ladies, most of the cases, they deal with the feeling. Everything with the feeling. Very little with the brain. Even though they also would think with the mind and think about before do anything.
Emotions, no?
Yeah, everything. Ladies, most of them, I mean, 90, maybe 100% even, they deal with everything with emotion. It's anything, any action, any speaking, any talk. So over here in this book, saying that very important that even you already married. First of all, it have to be before you getting married. Think about that, you know. But already you married, Baruch Hashem. You have to think always, plan in your mind. I want to build my life the way Hashem wanna teaching us, and the way Hashem want, the way Hashem recommend us how I'm gonna build my life. First of all, deal only how I'm gonna deal this with Hashem Yitbarach. That is important thing to know what Hashem wants from me, how I'm gonna build my life in my future with my kids and everything. Also, a very important thing that to know that it has to be very close conversation between husband and wife. Man shouldn't say my wife is not important. I mean, I'm gonna do whatever I want. I think whatever is right, I'm gonna do it. She's not allowed to know everything, or she's not allowed to involve in everything, or she's not allowed to teach me what to do. It is not right. Also, ladies, I mean, unfortunately they're not here, they're supposed to be here, that they should think about that. There is such a kind of thing I'm going to think about, that whatever I want to do it has to be only my way, or whatever I'm thinking. It's not my way or your way, what does Hashem want? That I want to build my life in a spiritual thing. I want to build my life. And the way Hashem teaching us that to know that I'm going to build like a small Beit HaMikdash. House also considered like a small Beit HaMikdash. Understand? When you are shalom at the house, and the peace at the house, and the Torah at the house, and the spirituality at the house, there's a lot of barakah at the house. You should know that. It's very important. It's very important that you should have a Torah in your house. You know that? It's not only one Sidur you have in that seat. No, you have to have books. Chumash, Halachot book, Mishnah, Gemara, you know, Zohar even you know how to read or whatever. Holy books at the house, very important to have it. That those books, you're not going to believe it, those books, even not all of them you are familiar with it, or you didn't study, they does give energy at your house, do you know that? Mm-hmm. They does give an energy at your house. And it's like one of the rabbis also said that the Gemara said also, person, I mean, our generation is a little different, that person should not have the other books, or those books who speak against God, chas v'shalom, or those books speak against religious, or those kind of, some stories or things that, or believe only in the scientists. That's the real thing to believe. Those kind of stuff is not healthy to have in the house. The sages said it's not good to have those kind of books. If you study for something for your parnasah, or you're starting for your some future, to know just to make for the parnasah, that's a different story. But just to learn this is even not healthy to learn those things. Because when you study, when you learn that things go against Torah, your mind also learn that by giving you chas v'shalom kind of doubt. You understand? Creating in your mind doubt. Now, also very important that anything you do, you have to have a conversation with your wife when you're going to do that. Speak with her, talk to her. It's very important also to know each other, to give a compliment. Very important. People sometimes thinking, why I should give a compliment, or why I should do this, or why I should do that, or even ladies side too. The compliment. If they bring it over here and the explanation in this book, he's saying, compliment consider like a tzedakah. Do you imagine yourself? It's unbelievable. Compliment consider like tzedakah. Why is like that?
Because you benefit from it.
No, wait. No, not only that. He said, first of all, the halakha said, when you give a money, a couple of pennies, whatever you give to the poor person, you blessed with the 6 precepts, with the 6 mitzvot. You blessed with the 6. But when you give to that poor person, let's say not money, but you're giving him good feeling, let's say you could call it like a compliment, not compliment, maybe there's a different word for that, like a compliment, or giving him power, or talk to him, or telling him, don't worry, everything's gonna be okay. You make him to come up, you give him a good feeling. You blessed, and that blessing, 11 blessings, with the 11 precepts. More than tzedakah even. But when you give tzedakah and also give a compliment, or give him power, or give him good feeling, you're receiving already 17. 6, another 11. Do you imagine yourself? Now, do you know?
Sorry.
Yeah.
To the wife especially, or in general?
In general.
In general. But you give one point. You give me right now one thought to say it. The one I really want to talk about right now. That you're really doing tzedakah with your wife when you do that. You have to think about, you have to feel that you're really giving a tzedakah to your wife when you're giving her a good compliment, or you give her a good feeling, or you start to talk to her. It's also connected with the let's say you had it before that any kind of argument, or you had it before that something misunderstanding. Sometimes you want to take a revenge, or sometimes you don't give a compliment. Or you're trying to say, I think it's not a good thing to give it because she doesn't listen to me, it's not getting better. Maybe I should not do that. The Torah is teaching, no. Maybe for the chinuch, for the discipline, you have to show her some here and there that really get hurt, but never ever, person should take this forever. It's like in Hebrew saying, small docha, yamin mikarevet, which means left pushing, but right, how you say that? Drawing to your, pulling to yourself. Right away. Even when you push a little bit, don't push too much. After you make a little bit for discipline, a little push, right away pull back to yourself with the right hands.
I love you.
Right there with the right hands. It's not really I love you in that
but still, you don't do all judgment or like very harsh. Harsh like disciplining a child too.
Exactly.
A little bit, and then you say, come, I'm sorry, let me talk to you.
Exactly. And it's important. If you realize many problems in the family happening is because they doesn't do that. They're saying, leave me alone with your attitude. I don't have time for you. Or it's not for me when you're doing it. Or different problems that they had before and trying to bring a revenge to each other. That's bad. Person have to learn to give in, to forget, to throw out what was. Because, a small example, you going work, yeah? You going work. Why you going work? Parnasa. Could you say I'm not gonna work? I don't feel like to work. I don't work. What's gonna happen? No parnasa. How are you gonna leave? How are you gonna leave? You have to go work. Let's say Hassan Shalom happening to something. You lost your job, and you cannot find a job right now. God forbid. Hassan Shalom. So suddenly somebody find you a job. Not same salary, a couple of dollars less. You're still gonna go. You're gonna say, I cannot say like this. At least something coming. Why? Because you need that. You need that. It's part of your life to support the family, to live. Same thing between husband and wife in all the cases. We have to look in that case. The problem is it doesn't look that way. That person, for example, another example. Could you say to your wife, suddenly you call, let's say your wife call you, saying, no, how you doing? You're saying, yeah, okay. When you coming, are you going to say, well, I'm not coming a couple of days. And she said, why? I feel like it. It doesn't make sense? It doesn't make sense. Or is she going to say to husband,
don't come home for a couple of days.
No. She's going to say, I decide not to take care of the house or take care of the kids. And you're going to say, why you want to do that? I feel like it. But that's the way it's going. Does it make sense? Doesn't make sense. But unfortunately, we do sometimes that kind of things. And this is bad. So, when you, the way you worry for the parnasa, you have to go work. You have to bring parnasa at the house. You have to bring a bread at the house. You know, some things doesn't make sense. Same thing Torah teaching us that have to be connection between your wife and that kind of connection. Now, very important also that to know that the when the husband and wife, you see, sometimes it's happening that situation that she wanna put on her word, that's the way I want, that's the way it's to be. Sometimes she's saying, sometimes he's saying, that's the way I want, that's the way it's supposed to be, and nothing changed. You see, this is also not so good on one side. You have to be compromise each other. And it's very important when the husband and wife deal each other, and when you want to do something about, they have to do by knowing with responsibility, with the law, the important thing, the way you're gonna go for the parnasa or for other stuffs, same thing have to be. Most of them for the discipline for the kids. You know, when we're gonna talk about the discipline of the kids, you know, it's so important to know that that's so hard. This discipline for the kids, it's so hard that sometimes the parents doing small mistake, it could cause suffering for the future for the kids, for everything, and it's very bad. That's the one of the reasons that the husband and wife, they have to always together have a conversation for the problem to take care of that. Again, now happening sometimes situation that the let's say she doesn't like you the way you discipline, or she doesn't like the way you speak with the kids, or the way you act with the kids. Sometimes she's thinking you're not doing it in the right way, or not for her. That moment is not allowed to be an argument next to the kids. It should not be an argument next to the kids.
Let's just say you had the argument, and then how do you take that situation and change it? Let's just say there was a moment you were disciplining a child and you got into an argument with your wife, or the other way around. And
because of the child or because of something else?
No, let's say the father hit.
Yeah.
She says, don't touch or don't hit in front of the child.
That's the first mistake. That's the first mistake. Because of that, I hope they're gonna listen to that. Yeah, even there's not here, it's important to be here. I'm always saying, guys, work on that, to bring everyone to listen to that. That's the first step of the mistake. It's the first step. Why?
Hitting the child?
No.
Saying.
No, saying. Of course, I mean, you're not hitting the child like I don't know what. I mean, for the discipline, for the something to give him what's wrong, what's right, you know?
Yes.
That's the first mistake. Why is first mistake? First of all, let's look at the child, how he's going to react. First, what the child can react. When you, let's say, give discipline, and let's say your wife against you, suddenly the child starts to scream more. Why? He feels there is a help from their side, he's going to help me now. He's going to scream more. He's going to do more voice. He's going to do more problem. Why? It's like giving a hint. Mommy, help me. Mommy, help me. It's wrong. It's not good. A wife and a husband, when they something doesn't like, they have to, after the child goes to sleep or he's not home, sit and have a conversation what to do, that not to give a power to the child and time of discipline, by he's gonna feel that, oh, you know what, I can understand. Child gonna say, my father don't run, he's not right.
Oh, he doesn't have the power.
No, the child gonna understand one thing. My father is not right. My father is not right. My mother is right. Anything gonna happen, what are you gonna say? Mommy, Abba did like this. Mommy, Abba did like this. And what she gonna say? Leave him alone already. What do you want from him? Come on, is discipline? Какой discipline? Look at the word. Leave him alone already. What do you want from him? What child feel? Father, or let's say right around, or mother, they're nothing. They're nothing. You're gonna think about it. And always you're gonna have in his mind, God forbid, it's not good, it's not healthy. You're always gonna have in mind, the father or the mother is a secondary. It's not so much important for my future to take care of me or to do stuff or to do this or to other stuffs. And not only that, the child gonna start to lose respect for the father. And it's the first avera from the Torah. Do you know how many halachot of kibbud avim we have? It's unbelievable. Do you know 90%? None of us doing the mitzvah of kibbud avim, the honoring father and mother. 90%. I mean, let's say 50%. 90%.
But
When the father,
how they raised?
Yeah, of course. That's the whole thing. That's the reason Shalom-Bait teaching you from the beginning, when you start to already work with your wife, how to raise the child, and you want in the future he should honor you the way he's supposed to be honored. How you do? How you give respect? How you acting next to the child? What your wife does, or what your husband does. Of course, then you're losing the respect. And then when you grow, with the growing, there is not such kind of respect you're supposed to be giving to the father and mother. Is this kind of respect, or is it going to be? They're losing the respect. You know how many, and how the parents feel bad about that? How many anguish inside? How many depressions, God forbid, inside? Because of that? You see, that's the thing. The way you worry, you see, that's just the way you worry for parnasah. Imagine yourself. The way I said last time in shul, if you remember. We go to shul now. Highest price, parnasah, opening the echal for parnasah. Everything parnasah, mishiberach, parnasah. Nobody gonna say, sometimes maybe it does, very rarely, but nobody gonna say, make the bracha for me, for the success, for the chinuch yiladim, for the how to give the chinuch, how to give right teaching for the kids. Never saw the shul for mishberach. You know what, Rabbi? I'm giving $5,000. Make a strongest mishberach, and I believe that you say this mishberach that my children are gonna be, I'm gonna have a greatest chinuch at my house, how to give discipline to my kids. Nobody takes it seriously like that. Nobody. Parnasah, everybody. Just more parnasah and more parnasah. And how many families we know? They're so rich, have so much money, and no happens in their life. You know that? I saw a couple of them. Can I tell you some small story? I'm going to tell you what is this. It says Bukharian family. It doesn't matter who is this. I'm not giving you some story from Gemara 2008, even though they also giving a lot of proofs on that. Our time. Rich guy, very rich guy. Meet not poor girl, but let's say medium. But for him, let's say consider maybe poor. They was okay family. It's in the middle class. They go out and a couple of times, and conversation between them was, in the end they was not together, but everything was life. They get married, Baruch Hashem, everything good. So one of the conversations between them was that he asked her. He said, "What you rather? To be poor and ask money, hearing, or you rather to be rich and give money?" What you will say?
Rich and give money. Obvious, no?
You see, he's saying obviously. He's saying to be rich and money, and you what? Same thing?
Which was
Rich and give money.
to be poor and to get to receive money.
It's embarrassing to
And to
always
be rich and to give money. It's obvious.
Okay, you see,
Before-
obvious. Now we have to hear what the rich guy said. No? We have to hear what the rich guy said. When he asked her, she said, of course, obviously, the Verchanan said to be rich and to give. He said, I'm not. He said, I'm not. I said, I'd rather to be poor, Rahman Islam, and take money, but to give. But he cannot be that way because they're so rich, they always give. The business, everything is a big stuff, they give, always they give. So he said he was rather to be opposite. To be
Doesn't
poor,
make
take
sense,
money. Huh?
Doesn't make sense.
You
Because he's
you
rich,
see,
he knows
you
how
see,
to come with it.
exactly. You say it doesn't make sense. Why? You right away in that moment right now you're making magic in your mind. Listen, I have $100 million. What's the problem? You give, you feel good, you take care of people, you give stuff. What's wrong with that? The best. You think that way. He does reach, and he's saying not like you. How come? How come? You know how? The way you said. The way you said. Since he knows, since he knows, so much problem on that, so much headache, and who knows what he passed. He's saying, listen, it's so much that desire. I don't need that. Why I need a headache? You see, it's always like that. When you're not in his shoes, when you're not in his position, you think different.
Grass is always
Yes! You think different.
Who wants
And it's true what he said, by the way. The Gemara said, it's not my word, the Chachamim, what they said, Marbe nachaseh, marbe da'aga. How much you have much more richness, how much you have more so
problems.
much you have problems. Now the question is what you rather, problems or quiet? He won already quiet because listen, it's not a life. I have so much and I'm not enjoying. Always problem, worry. Which kind of life is this? Which kind of life is this? But you see, people, human feeling, still he won't have that money. Well, I will say maybe we should pray and ask money that without a problem, but it's not always like that. So,
Poor guy also worries.
yeah,
And he also worries how he's going to pay rent next tomorrow. He always worries.
yeah.
And always to be poor and receive, it's very embarrassing. Not everybody can handle it so much, you know what I'm saying? He's saying poor and receive, it's
Yeah.
embarrassing for the person.
And not everyone gives what you need
Right.
to cover expenses.
Okay, maybe in some level, he feels it's better that kind of situation than to be rich. We don't know. We was not such kind of rich to understand that. We don't know. Because of that, Shlomo HaMelech said very smart thing. What he said? He said, Shlomo HaMelech, you know how rich he was?
He's the wisest guy.
You know how rich he was?
Wise
He was, forget about wiseness, it was so rich, in his time, money, let's say it was a silver, clean silver that time was. Money was like nothing, it was on the floor. Everything gave the gold. So you go buy bread, you pay coin gold, and you buy bread, take a bread. Money was nothing in his time. And what he said, don't make me rich, and I will forget Hashem. We'll say, who is this? Look my power, this, that. Yeah? And don't make me poor, and start to forget Hashem. There is a looking at me, start to steal those things not supposed to be done. Make me middle class.
Average.
Average, the best one, quiet. I have my food, have my salary, my life goes well, Baruch Hashem. Maybe I have more things that's coming, but Baruch Hashem, but I have a life, I live, I do this, I pay, I live in. Put me in that case. Put me in that situation. Shlomo HaMelech said. Shlomo HaMelech said. He's not a regular person. He ain't gonna write down something doesn't make sense. He knew what is that. You see? So from here you can see that to say something and it doesn't have that, it's you always gonna think about I'm gonna make better. I'm gonna make the best way. It's not always like that. Sometimes you have to know what's coming, what Hashem giving to you. That's why Hashem knows that you're gonna take care of this. It's not more than that. You don't need it. You could ask. Nothing wrong with that. You could ask, but don't steal. You understand? You know how many people have Shalom Rahman al Islam to be rich doing things not supposed to be doing it? Sure, not sure. We don't want to elaborate that. How many people do things not supposed to be done just to be rich? Just to be like, I don't want to be less than him or other stuff. This is already what the Shlomo HaMelech said. So you should not do that. To be always righteous person. So those cases, you see everything that between husband and wife is important, everything to know that how to compromise each other. Also very important to know that, when you have a peace at the house, when you have a love between husband and wife, basically you don't need so much. Well, when husband and wife they love each other, yeah, when there's a love, when there's compromise, understanding, even though one day you're gonna come, you're gonna say, I want to have this, I cannot do this. If you understand, you have a really very good conversation together. She's gonna say, why are you crying? Happen? There is good ladies say that. They say, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Baruch Hashem, you have this. Baruch Hashem, you have that. Baruch Hashem, you have everything. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Say thanks God. You see, this smart woman. This is a smart woman. When she say that, this is a smart woman. Sometimes she cry. Look over here, look at them, look what they have, look that one. And the husband smart also have to explain, but you complain, or you crying, say things a shame. You and me over here for what? You and me over here to do will of Hashem. We're not over here to run after entire physicality, only think about physicality. How long already a person can live in this world? 70, David HaMelech said. If they want to give present to you, another 10 years, 80. More than that, 120. But that's it, but you're not going to live 500 years. Even though it's going to come back after the Mashiach comes, all that you're going to be, but that's going to be a different framework. So, still, you have to know what we do over here, what we deal with it. So that's the important thing, that between husband and wife, and there's always compromise. So this compromise basically coming through the feeling. Now, very important to know that the husband should know the feeling of his wife, and important that the wife should know the feeling of the husband. Now, why they supposed to know each other feeling? When they know the feeling each other, they know how to give compliment each other. They know how to respect each other. They know how to sometime, if I'm gonna say this, she might be upset and gonna create a blow up. If I'm gonna this, it will create a problem. It's gonna be blow up. So I will start to hold myself. I will compromise. I'm gonna give in on that. Wife feels that. You know that? She feels. Let's say she's sometimes saying she's doing some kind of situation or speaking to you or talking to you or do something weird, yeah, and you that meditation, or you give still you give compliment on that. Okay, it's okay, nothing happened. No, she's feeling good about that. She's saying, "Oh, you give me power." But when you always putting her down, or she putting you down, it's not so smart. Look, you this, you that. How's she gonna? How the husband gonna feel? Or automatically, imagine yourself in the morning. It's also important to know. People doesn't understand this. Feelings is building up. You have to build that. You can. It's impossible to do in one day those entire feelings, entire connections in one day. It have to be day by day working on yourself.
Years.
Huh? It's taking years. That's the reason. That's the difference between the us and the let's say goyim maybe one side. Why? Have the goyim saying, I fall in love. Right away they saying word fall. I fall in love. Fall in love is what?
Я упал и влюбился.
Да, не, упала, влюбилась, да. You fall in love, when you fall, you know, how long you gonna get you're gonna be by falling, you know? In the Jewish history, this is kind of thing, falling in love. In the Jewish history, you build a love. You build. You know how you build? Let's say you are 55. Your wife also 55. You have to work on yourself so well, and each other understand so well. Even you're gonna go outside, you're gonna see a girl age of 30 or something beautiful. You're gonna say, you know what? I'm not gonna change my wife to her, never. And that kind of level you have to come. Same thing, she have to come that kind of level. Divorces. You know why? Because they're not on that kind of level. They're not building that. God forbid, we're not allowed to laugh on that. Chas v'shalom, Rahman al-Islam. Yeah? Sometimes we sing even in the religious families, God forbid, chas v'shalom, Rahman al-Islam. Yeah? In that kind of cases. Why? Why? You know why? Because you have to build that. You have to build that, and you have to work on this, that building, that you are build, it's like a building, by the way. It's like a building. You build that love, and suddenly, even you in age of 55, you're gonna say, I'm not gonna change my wife. Never, for nobody. Doesn't matter how beautiful that one. Doesn't matter how beautiful how this one. Nothing. Now tell me, I want to ask a question. Why you gonna say you're not gonna change? I just talk. Give me a hint.
You work 50 years to build up
You
this
put
kind
so
of
much in.
relationship.
You put so much in.
You invest
What
too
do you
much.
put?
You invest.
Your time, your emotions, your money.
And what it created?
Harmony.
Real love.
You-
True
you-
love.
You see? This is important. That's the key. That's the key of the life. When you have so many understanding and you so much put effort, and it's like she cannot live without you. Anything, Hanan, Grisha, whatever, Ilyusha, oh you, my honey, this one, they cannot. You cannot each other. You cannot live each other because there's nobody else. You could have a conversation that they're gonna lead you what to do in your life. Not your father, even though you have to honor the father. You have to honor the mother. You took an advice. But they never could lead the way your wife does or the way your husband does. And how is gonna come up? Only if you put that effort. If you doesn't put, how is it gonna build up? How is it gonna build up? And that's the reason so much divorces, God forbid, Rahman al-Islam. That's the reason. That's the reason. Like somebody saying, I cannot anymore, Rabbi. I'm blowing up. I cannot. I don't know what to do. I think I don't. You just started. How you want? Let's say people married. Just they get married not a long time ago, a week, 2 months, even a year. How you want in this half a year already understand each other and love each other and give compliments? How is possible in such a 1 minute? If I'm gonna give you a diamond, I'll give you a diamond, but it's not ready.
Not polished.
Not polished. You saw the diamond not polished? I don't know if you saw.
Rock.
Yeah?
Looks like a rock.
It's like a rock, yeah. How does it look like? Could you put that over here in the for your right present? Check it over there. What is it? It's like a stone. What do? You polish it.
Slowly.
Could you polish it in a second? It's impossible. There's some diamonds. Oh my God! I mean, you don't understand that. It has they call it in Hebrew glitz. Glitz is kind of some places you have to clean, and they're so black or such a dirt inside, and you clean. Could you say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this diamond. Take it and throw it. You gonna do that? Do you gonna do?
$500,000 down the
Do you gonna do that? You're not.
Of course not.
It costs you a lot of money. Do you gonna take it and throw? No. What are you gonna do? You're gonna sit yourself patient. Patient. You continuously sitting yourself patient. Why patient? You know, in the end, it's gonna clean up. In the end, it's gonna be done. It's a matter of time. That's all. It's a matter of time. So you give it time. Sometimes I know diamond dealers. They said one of the diamonds that go 2 carat, 3 carat. He's telling me it took him 1 month to clean the stone. 1 month. Some taking 1 week. Some taking a couple of days. Depends the stone, you know. But you already bought. It's like you already married. You already married. Can I throw that? You already married. It's gonna be. You're gonna. You should not see somebody else. You see, that's the problem. You don't look at the spirituality situation. That's the problem. Then you look at the physicality, and you say, not this diamond, next diamond. In your life case, you're gonna say, if not she, somebody else. But you know which kind of distraction you created in your spirituality? You don't know that. You didn't learn. You didn't study. You're creating a chaos to your soul. Who knows what's gonna be to you over there? How many times you might reincarnate it because of that? I has a word to you to say. So many to learn. Because when you married, like a diamond I told you, and you throw it, yeah, your wife, let's say, Chas Shalom, Rahman Islam, God forbid, and you're going to find somebody else, it's the same thing you could throw a diamond. Over here, physicality, you feel, you lose, let's say, $500,000, $1 million, you lose. But over here, with your wife, since you don't know what you lost, so you say it's not somebody else. But if you knew, like a diamond, you will never do that. You will never do that. Same thing, woman. Same thing, woman. Husband, like a diamond to your hands. I mean, I say to guys, but it's also to the woman, the same thing. Come to her husband, like a diamond. It's not only you see, it's a polished in the 2 sides. Really, husband and wife, it's a 1 diamond. It's a 1 diamond. Husband and wife is considered 1 diamond. Okay? The polish, it's the harmony between them after 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And they're getting more and more and more. That's the diamond, really. Real diamond in the life between husband and wife, it's a feeling each other. What else could be? What else could be? Understanding, family, business, happiness. Success, whatever. You like that word, by the way. Be happy. That's called diamond. But you need husband and wife to polish it. The way I'm taking the diamond not ready and I'm polishing, I think as I make a round. You know how many work over there? All the beauty, all the flowers inside the diamond, outside, inside. Ooh, it's a lot of job over there. And beside that, after you polish it, be careful not to break the diamond. Sometimes you polish, yeah, could be such situations. Same thing in the life. The problem, we doesn't see that. We doesn't see that. What do we say? If it's not she or somebody else, or let's just say if it's not he, it's somebody else. What is for you? A joke? What's going on? That's the problem. And everything begin is from the beginning when the husband and wife getting married, what they mind when they want to create a family.
Intentions.
No. Intention, yeah, but if you're gonna get married, you're saying, I want to get married because I want a spirituality. I want to marry because I want to do will of Hashem. That's a different story. But some people, they say they marry for fun, or because
money.
parents said, or money, or say, I have to bring kids.
They're not as invested.
Yeah, no, exactly. Look at this. So what they're gonna say? She is somebody, or not he is somebody. Because of that, so many problems. I have one guy. I mean, so many times explaining. It's incredible to talk. I don't wanna. It should be lashon hara, but it's very important to know that when you're stubborn, when she or he is stubborn, yeah. This is the beginning. It is the beginning of destruction. That's the beginning of destruction. Because stubbornness is not going to create harmony. Not only that, maybe in the future, if Hashem will say that Hashem, I will explain to you what is the really Gan Eden. What is the really Gan Eden? Gan Eden. What is the Gan Eden? Basically, I'm gonna give you some maybe explanations, little bit, yeah. Your entire Gan Eden, when you're gonna meet your wife over there. Yes, you're laughing. Yes, I'm not telling you it's just story to make you good feeling each other. I could bring you book. Unfortunately, I don't know if you have the English that you could read in the Hebrew. You can understand. Real Gan Eden, if you're gonna meet your wife over there, or she gonna meet her husband over there. Then a lot of cases, they are not meeting each other. They are not meet each other over there. Many cases, they not meet each other over there. Huh? The reason they not meet each other, okay, Baruch Hashem over here, you are keeping Torah mitzvot. The meaning is the Muslim, not Muslim, but cases, some of the cases they not meet each other because if there was divorce problem, or there was not purity family, or there was a lot of things was not not purity family, or they had a lot of all their life was fight, always fight. It's also creating a lot of chaos in the world to come, and or himself to his wife and all that. So from here we could see, and we could learn and understand that your basic life, your Gan Eden, your Olam Haba, not only this, all entire your future depends to the husband and wife. Do you imagine yourself?
Why the sages say that if you have a bad wife, you're gonna go to Gan Eden? No.
Okay, it's a question. It's a good question. Okay, now Daniel saying, sages said, if you have a bad wife, you're going to Gan Eden. You have to ask me like this. What they meant by saying that?
That's a good question.
You have to say
Did they really say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They really say that. They did say, no, I explain to you, oh my God. You have to explain to you. We have to, when the sages say, anything they say, they meant something about. They're not going to just throw you a word that have nothing to do. We talk about sages, talk about the giant people, the holy people, you know? When they say something, they meant something about. It's not they mean about the, just throw the word. But in the Gemara they say, see, we have to understand, a little bit deep concept, I gotta explain to you. The Gemara said, I think Rabbi, if I'm making a mistake, he had a wife that she used to do everything opposite of whatever he asked for. Everything opposite. Let's say he's gonna tell her, make me food, let's say, Bukhari and saying Krov Rohan, let's say, with some the potato or the meat. She will do exactly opposite. They will make a soup. You're gonna tell her, make me food, let's say, with the rice something. She will do, I don't know, something else, total something else. So the sages said he lived with her, and he didn't divorce her. He lived with her. The whole thing is they're saying to him was, to that rabbi, that kind of wife, God, Hashem, and purposely give this kind of wife, that his growing spirituality was in that case, in a different way. So again, we have to understand. They give some examples to teach that sometimes spirituality depends on the rabbis, how they grow. I can give you another story. It's a little funny, but it's true story. But it's a little funny. It was one rabbi. It's really connected to our conversation we were saying. It was one rabbi. He was such a beautiful life with his wife. Such a beautiful life with his wife. It's just incredible. Never fight, never argument. It's like a ready diamond. You know what I mean? Ready diamond, like, you know? Totally beautiful life. Never fight, never argument. So he said to his wife, no, I think I want to divorce you. Yeah, and she said, why? He said, listen, I'm scared. It's like, I don't know, it's a really true story. It's like a joke a little bit coming out, but yeah. So he said that I'm scared I'm gonna lose my olam haba, my world to come, because everything good with you. I mean, never fight, never this and that. So she said, and he told her, don't worry, if you mind, we're gonna meet each other over there. I mean, we'll win an election, you know. I mean, everything good, nothing bad. So she said, okay. So she said, okay, and he divorced her, and he go to the matchmaker. He go to matchmaker and he said, find me wife, the worst wife in the world. The matchmaker looked at her saying, really? He said, yeah. Okay. So he found her really, really big problematic lady, and they meet each other, and they were getting married. That girl found out which kind of this rabbi want to marry her. She asked, why you want to marry me? So they tell her, they said, listen, you had a wife, everything good, everything perfect, never fight. He feel like he's gonna lose his olam haba, he's gonna lose his world to come. So he wanna, somebody gonna give him in his head. Yeah. Oh, she said like this? Okay, no problem. they get married. So he thought, the first day, right away, all the things gonna fly in his head. So he get up in the morning, so he wants to see action. Suddenly she get up, bring him a couple of coffee in his bed. But how was going around? See, this is what's going on over here. He said, they told me you are bad. What's going on? He's saying, well, you wanna make a basa because you want to olam haba? I don't want your olam haba. You got to lose that. I mean, he tried to show her evilness that I want you lose your world to come. Basically, I think it was like a story to bring that sages. Basically over here, they're trying to bring you an explanation. This kind of case, they bring this to tell you. Don't think that the way I used to say to everyone. Don't think you're going marry, you're going every day eat cake. That's the kind of thing. There is no such kind of thing. But because of that, when they marry, after a couple of months, the rest of whatever they're thinking, and the problem coming out. But when the person knows, I'm going marry, why there's a war. There is a war. And I have to win that war. Not win to knock her out or she can knock him out. Not that kind of win. Win is, how am I gonna find a solution and a conversation and everything, harmony, the beautiful life between me and her. How am I gonna, he gonna say, how am I gonna guide her heart? And she gonna say, how am I gonna guide his heart? That he should love me and I should love it. And I should love her. That thing gonna create entire harmony. So that's the important thing supposed to be in the life. Not the way we think, not by saying, no, I cannot anymore. Because it's just the beginning, an opposite. Work on that. You want a medallia? There's also medallia for that. You want a medallia? Work on that. This is the biggest medallia. This is your entire medallia. This is the entire bracha, aslacha in your life. It's also connected with your kids, with your future. How the kids gonna grow. Imagine yourself that when the husband and wife they understand each other and love each other, and it doesn't mean, guys, please don't understand me wrong. It doesn't mean you're not gonna have an argument. It doesn't mean. It's like, oh, I hear the rabbi, we should not argue with me. Why you argue with me? That's a good. You understand what I'm saying? It's not. I doesn't mean that. You understand what I'm saying, Daniel? You understand what I'm saying to you?
Crystal clear.
Don't think that, oh, we have to compromise each other, we have to be quiet, we have to be giving. So how come you're fighting with me now? Why are you yelling at me? It's not that. An opposite. That time of yelling each other, that time of fighting each other, how am I going to create a solution? It's your opportunity, by the way. That's called cleaning the diamond. It's your opportunity that time. You understand what I'm saying? That's the opportunity. Okay, guys, I think we talked more than enough, and already 10:10, and you guys late, please. I beg you, don't. I say 8:45, and suddenly became 9, and today was 9:30. Let's make quick question. If you have questions. If not, we're gonna make next sure. Any questions, ladies?
One question.
Guys.
Why it says bracha comes only for wife? She's like husband.
Very
wife,
good point. For this
zero
point, another 1
there,
hour talking.
Zero there.
When they saying, you hear this question? They saying why the sages said bracha coming from the wife. Wife is considered like a treasure, like a place for the treasure. Place for the treasure. That considered a wife. Not only that, could be bad wife too, God forbid. Bracha from wife coming, when it's Eshet Chayil, or you work on that to make her Eshet Chayil, it also depends on the husband. Yes, also. But more power has a woman than the man to make her husband tzaddik. The lady has a more power. But when they both working, is the best one. So that's the Shlomo Melech said, Isha bona, Isha machriva, chas v'shalom. Woman could build a life, the family, everything.
She can
Woman
make you,
she could break everything too. She could break everything too. Because of that, guys, when you putting in your life Hashem Yitbarach for all the things when you're doing it, He's not gonna leave you. And highest thing that I told always prayer. I'm telling you, you have to pray so much. You have to pray so much that you have to feel that Hashem really listening to you. Hashem really listening to you.
How do you do that?
You have to work on yourself. You have to see that Hashem present everywhere. Hashem present everywhere. Hashem giving life for every single thing. He see you. Yes, sometimes you feel I pray, he doesn't answer me. Even from that, what you ask for, if you're not receiving whatever you ask for, even from that you could hear his answer. Maybe I'm asking not the right thing. Maybe it's not for me, he's saying. You know, that kind of cases. It's very important to know. When you're going to understand, it's everything belong. You see, what you're focusing in your life. If anything you do, you involve Hashem Yitbarach, yeah? You're going to see more and more. But when you're involving him only time to time, maybe here, maybe there, not always. When I have a time, I'm going to speak with Hashem, but not, it's okay, I'm going to wait. You see, that's bad. That is bad. You have to always put Hashem Yitbarach inside and believe He's listening, He's giving us everything. Even we talk right now, if you're not Him, how are we going to talk, how are we going to breathe? Any other questions? Don't feel shy. I think everything, we should, next sure, we're going to make it up. Okay.